we go from SoFi Stadium. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They started on the ground with Eckler. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Once more, here's Eckler. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Pickett will look to throw it here. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Well, the Rams had 0-1 of the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence is right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he returns this to the 22. Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll decide to keep this once more. And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Pickett backed up into his end zone here. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. So the pitch and catch good for 11, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. From the gun, here's Pickett. That's complete to Meredith. And he's going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, well, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
He's going to air one out, and that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 11 on the play. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And some room to run now. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Off play action. Duffy. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And the football back at their own 17. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett rolling to his right. He'll get this to Eckler. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the complete.
And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through balls.
Akers, he coughs it up. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. So third down, and defensively, the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. Back to throw. Duffy. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. On fourth down, Michael Pilardi on to punt. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
From the 41, Pickett. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Second down and goal. Pickett. And this is going to be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks him. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play would be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, Charles, they were so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A gain there of 21 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he's got some space here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Duffy. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
You hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
On 3rd down, Duffy. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold him. Let's get the ball back for us.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now Pickett will look to pass it. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
Now Pickett. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. With plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for and take it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Throwing on first down. Duffy flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. This is caught inside the 15. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
They'll run here to Lakers.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. He finds his man, complete. It's Person. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. This will wind up a loss on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Duffy. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell, from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Pickett.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Back to throw, Pickett.
That'll be caught. It's Kupp. Touchdown!
Cooper Kupp
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Rams will add to their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. touchdown. Here's Gay to kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Duffy. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Flush to his right. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, Duffy. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Rams come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So the LA Rams with a victory here. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody.
So for Los Angeles, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with